Education. Okay, excellent. Man, I'm very excited today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank my illustrious guest, Brother Vertiss Muhammad, the great D.I of the 90s, who gave myself and many others the blueprint to be drill instructors, a top soldier. And I want to thank you for coming on, Brother Vertiss. Thank you very much.
Oh man, brother, I'm humbled. You know what I mean? I'm thankful as well to be interviewed and to share what Allah has blessed me with. You know, to yourself and the rest of the believers and family that are looking on to this evening. So I'm humbled. All praises to Allah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Okay, brothers, let's get straight into it. When did you accept the teachings?
I accepted the teachings back in 1988. My oldest brother, David 4X, was in the Nation of Islam. And after maybe a year or two of him being in the nation, he fished me in as well. So that was in 1988. I went to the mosque that Sunday, and I accepted the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that Sunday. I forgot the actual date, but I knew it was sometime in the summertime of 1988. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And what was it about the teachings that made you want to join?
When I came to the mosque, in the street, I was a soldier in the street. I was on the street corner listening to Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers. The same as all of what you heard, Brother Christopher. Shout out to my good brother Christopher Muhammad. You know what I mean? He was saying the same thing. We came up under these positive rap artists and images. So Public Enemy was my favorite group. But when I came into the mosque, knowing what I've seen of the S1Ws coming to the mosque, and I seen the FOI and the FOI uniform, I was like, man, that's the S1Ws, but not knowing that the S1Ws were actually FOI. You know, so the one of the main things that stuck out to me about the teachings that day was the teaching of do for self, a nation of our own, a government of our own, and unity, justice, freedom, and equality for the Black man and Black woman of North America. That day, I knew I found the right place to be.
Okay, wonderful, excellent. Now, when you came in, this is in Newark or Philly, where?
I came in Newark, New Jersey. I started my orientation class in Newark, New Jersey back then. I left Newark, New Jersey to go to Durham, North Carolina, mosque number 34. And I continued my orientation and my training in Durham, North Carolina, in mosque number 34. That was around the summertime of 1989. I got registered in 1989. That's when I received my X in 89. I became the first officer not too long after I got my X in Durham, North Carolina. And from that point on, I think the majority of my military training and attraction began around that time, 89, 1990. That's when the military attraction became more prevalent for me in the nation. I wanted to be a part of the military training of the men that belong to Islam in North America.
Okay, excellent. And we want to, Walaikum Salam, Naima says agrees. Brother Deshaun says, ASA, my first lieutenant. Brother Deshaun Muhammad says that. Okay, excellent.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, I return the greeting to you. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Now, Brother Vertiss, now when you came in, how did you become a drill instructor?
I started drilling brothers when I was the first officer in Durham, North Carolina. I've always wanted to be a part of the military. I didn't know, but before I came in the Nation of Islam, I wanted to join the military. So once I became of age, that's where I was going. But praise be to Allah, my brother caught me at the right time. So joining the Nation of Islam and becoming the first officer, and seeing what was being done before I became the first officer. After getting my X, after going through a few months of training, being drilled by the brother that was drilling the men at the time, I caught on very quickly to it and adapted. And becoming the first officer afterwards, I started my training there in Durham, North Carolina, of being a drill instructor. I left Durham, North Carolina, and moved back to Newark, New Jersey. This was in 1990. I'm back in Newark, New Jersey now, being trained. So now, fast forward to 1993, we were doing drill across the city. So we had a basketball game. We put together a brother Majid Muhammad, my captain of the East Coast region. He put together a men and women FOI and MGT drill team. And we would go across the city of Newark, New Jersey and perform before our people. So we would practice quite often into the ye hours of the night. We would be leaving out of drill practice sometimes 12 or 1 o'clock, you know. So one night we had drill practice and Brother Majid wasn't there. Oh, he was running late. Him and the first officer was running late. So the brothers and sisters just asked me to do the drill. Now, mind you, for years, probably for about a year or two, I was constantly coming up with cadence so that if I ever got a chance to get before the brothers and the sisters to drill them, man, they would be blown away. And one night, Brother Majid was running late. I was drilling the brothers and the sisters that evening. And this is what Brother Majid told me, because I didn't see him come up behind us as I was drilling the brothers and the sisters that night. And but he came in the building, and he had to come up the stairs in order to come into the sanctuary of the mosque. And as he was coming up the stairs, I was drilling the brothers and the sisters, calling my cadence, practicing some of the cadence that I came up with at the time. And as Brother Majid was coming up the stairs, he was telling me that he heard me as he was coming up the stairs, and it blew his mind, you know, for lack of more words. But when he came upstairs and he seen what was going on, he heard what was going on as he was coming up the stairs, and from that point, he said, because at that time, Brother Majid was was calling the cadence. He was the DI for the brothers and the sisters, for the brothers and the sisters drill team. But at that time, when he came up the stairs that night and heard me call the cadence, he said, from this point on, Brother Vertiss is the drill instructor. And from that point on, that was 93, maybe 94, I think between 93 and 94. And from that point on, I was the drill instructor. Brother Majid gave me the permission to be before the brothers and sisters, and I took advantage of that and strove to do the best that I could, you know, as far as giving the spirit of drill, the spirit of warrior, soldier, all in the drill as much as I could, you know.
Excellent. Praise be to Allah. Brother Stephen M. Kelly says, ASA brothers, Walaikum Salam. Sorry, says pound hashtag number 25. Okay. Yes. So Brother Vertiss, when you were drilling, you're saying you're drilling the brothers and the sisters at the same time, like y'all on the same drill team.
We was on the same drill team. There was 2 ranks of each, 2 ranks of brothers, 2 ranks of sisters. And man, it had to be maybe, I give it at least 40 brothers and sisters in total on the drill team. And yeah, so first time in history I've ever experienced being in the Nation of Islam, drilling beside the vanguard. It was the vanguard, drilling beside the vanguard, and exhibiting the culture of drill for the nation of the Nation of Islam for our people. And it hasn't been done today. And I wish in the future to see that exhibited before the believers in the very near future.
Excellent. Praise be to Allah. In Atlanta, we got a chance to drill with the sisters when we go into the community sometimes, and the response from the people would be amazing when they would see the brothers and the sisters drilling.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Okay,
brother, not the same.
Brother Nasir, Adai, Muhammad, ASA Brother Vertiss, my old soldier and partner in Jersey City, ASA Brother Vertiss, Brother Mont, excellent. Islam, sir. Yes, sir. So, Brother Vertiss, once Brother Captain Majid gave you the permission to be the drill instructor, now you fast forward to 95, 96, like the May Man March. What was your function during the May Man March as far as drill?
There was no function. I was just there participating, doing my duties as an FOI, as a lieutenant at the time as well. So we didn't have no during the Million Man March, no drill, but leading up to the Million Man March, we drilled at the Armory in New York when the minister had the all men's meeting in New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so leading up to that, we drilled that time. But during the Million Man March, I really had no duties at the time as far as drill is concerned.
Yes, sir. My sister Naima says, who was your favorite D.I brother or sister who inspired you?
Man, it was this brother Jason X from New York. He was a rapper. It's something about these rappers that become drill instructors in the nation.
Yeah.
But what it does, it reminds me that the drill team is the choir for the mosque of the Nation of Islam. You know what I mean? The same way the choir gets the spirit of the church up, the drill team does the same thing for the mosque and for our people. But there was a brother Jason X from New York. He was a rapper. And he had a song called Stand Up for Something or You Will Fall for Anything. And he came to North New Jersey one time, I think it was like in 92, between 92 and 93. And we had a joint FOI class. Man, he drilled the brothers that night and I was in them ranks. Man, I could punch a hole in the planet, brother, after he was finished with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, the spirit that he gave to the men and the way he moved, you know, man, he was just, I would say he was my example. Brother Jason X was given the spirit to drill and drill. He was the man. Brother Jason X. I don't know if too many brothers and sisters know him, but to give him a shout out, if he never knew, because I haven't seen him since that time. So if he ever see this video or this interview, I want him to know that he was definitely an inspiration to me.
Praise be to Allah. Excellent. Brother Kerry Gerald, ASA with Islam, Stephen M. Kelly, good history. Sister Heather Muhammad, husband, I see you. Praise be to Allah, Brother Vertiss, Brother Jihad. Jihad. Yes, sir. So, Brother Vertiss, when let's go to 1995, you had the drill competition. Everybody, the culture of drill is now shifted forever because of that routine that you did publicly, that drill. How was that received? How was that received during that? I mean, this is before my time, but how was that received by the people? Was it everybody liked it, or was it controversy? How was that when you first came out with that style of calling?
I would have to be honest with you. I received. I almost butted head a little bit with my good brother Kadir Muhammad, who was the minister of Mosque number 25 at the time. When we did the kickback,
yes, sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
when we kick off, he thought that would not go well with the people. And I stood my ground, and I told him, I said, no, brother, it's going to be all right. This is the move right here that is going to cause. This is going to be it right here. And he like, oh no, brother, I'm telling you, brother. You know how brother Kadir is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, they gonna laugh at you, brother. So he was like, they're all gonna laugh at you type thing, the carry thing, you know. Yeah. But I knew that was going to be the move that was going to be the catalyst to a new form or a new spirit with drill and the drill instructor, you know. And sure enough, we get there, and that was the move that caused, you know, the blessing of me being called the Master DI, and the some of the style that was brought that night has been duplicated and made better, and is evolved, you know. So all praise due to Allah. That style of drill, definitely, because I was a young man, I brought a spirit of youth and a spirit of rebellion, I guess I would say, in a sense of to this enemy, you know. The spirit I wanted to bring was a spirit of, when you see this army coming down the street drilling, yeah, you're going to know that this is something serious and something to be reckoned with, you know.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes. So I asked Brother Christopher, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. How did you all keep the spirit of brotherhood in such an intense competition with the cities backstage, and you know what I'm saying? How did y'all not make it personal towards each other when it came to competing against each other?
I don't even remember any animosity or for lack of a better word, beef with each other. It was all competition, you know. I think the only bitterness that would have come, and that did come, was because it was a competition and because it was reward giving after. So it would seem that some would feel politics was involved with it as well. You know, lack of good judgment on some part, people may feel. So, but as far as between the drill instructors, I don't recall any hard feelings with each other over the competitions. If any hard feelings might be, it would be with those who judge the competition.
Absolutely.
Not with the drill instructors.
Yes,
we was good.
Okay, now one of the comments when Brother Michael was that maybe he should be a judge. Did you ever think about going into judging, or desiring to judge, or do you always want to be on the creative side of it?
Both. I desire to judge. Sister, what's my good sister name down there with you?
Sister LaShonda.
Yeah, Sister LaShonda. I'm sorry. Yeah, she called me back in, I think, in 2014, I think it was, to be on the judging panel. But at the time, you know, my belated wife, she was sick, and I had to tend to her, so I couldn't make Savior's Day that year. So yeah, I do desire at some point to judge and to be a part of the reconstruction of drill, you know. So yeah, I desire to definitely be a part of the culture of drill in the Nation of Islam.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Now, what inspired your cadence, your cadences that, what inspired that?
I'm a rapper. I rap.
Yes, sir. You think you're on mute?
Some of the songs and make cadence out of them, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the inspiration from the of the cadence. My rapping ability and the ability to put words together.
Okay, excellent, excellent. What now? One of your famous cadences you referenced, Captain Majid, how he was trained, how you were trained by him, how you all were trained by him. What was it about him that in his training that made you want to put him in your cadence?
He is a captain, man. He is a trainer of men. I've been under captains in the Nation of Islam. I've served in a few cities in the Nation of Islam. And I have yet to see, I mean, just my humble opinion, a captain as organized as he is, and that is as commanding as he is. He was a man in the military. He was a sergeant in the military. So his military training of being a sergeant in the military, he trained us as if he was a sergeant in the military. He was strong, he was powerful, but he was fair. You knew it was love that he was given. And he was a soldier for the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to the core. So yes, so all of that, his training, his demeanor, his command, his example of an FOI and a captain in the Nation of Islam, to me was superb. I mean, look, the minister named him, before the believers in the Nation of Islam during the Savior's Day believers meeting in Los Angeles. Based off of the work that we was doing in Newark, New Jersey, being the pound for pound captain and Mas for that matter, we was the pound for pound Mas in the Nation of Islam at that time. Everything, charity, final call newspapers, guests, acceptances, recruits, all of that. So his training pushed us and compelled us to do all that we did during that time.
Okay, excellent. And I thank you very much for answering that question. This is Kira, MHB Kira. Can you see yourself falling back into the ranks and drilling brothers again?
Oh, that's my granddaughter. Wow. She asked me that question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. I do. And I have been out of the mosque or stepped away from the mosque for about a year and a half, close to 2 years. And I am in the process at this time of meeting with those that need to be met with in order to regain entry back into the FOI class and continuing and being involved in drill and in the Nation of Islam.
Praise be to Allah. That's great news, Bro Vertiss. Yes, sir.
To Allah. Praise
now you've done a lot of work in the community with drill, taking it into the school systems, into the actual community. How have you been received, with drill as far as outside of the ranks?
Listen, the drill can make any drill instructor in any city. You can go in, if you're a drill instructor, you can go in any school, get incorporated and go in any school, come up with a structure and involve drill in it, and you're gonna get a contract in any school.
Yes, sir.
I have been in Philadelphia and I've done drill instruction and mentoring in the schools, but it wasn't the most of the mentoring that got me the contracts in the school. It was that drill. When them principals hear drill and discipline, oh, how much you want? How much? I got the check right here. You understand? So I have made in the city of Philadelphia, I had contracts that were in the tens, 20s to the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Praise be to Allah.
All right. So that's how much drill is accepted outside the mosque. You understand? You can get paid. I'm in the schools right now. Years ago, before I moved to Chicago in 2009, from 2001 to probably 2008, I've had contracts in the city schools of Philadelphia, 10 schools here 1 year, 30 schools here, 40 schools there. You know, persistently dangerous schools is what they were called at that time, that these contracts were asking to be served, to serve these persistently dangerous schools in the city of Philadelphia. And so I did that for about 7 to 8 years in the city of Philadelphia. When I moved to Chicago, I started to do the same thing. Brother Captain Dwayne Muhammad, that's in Chicago right now, he connected me to Betty Shabazz Institute schools, where he was doing drill for that school. And things got to be a little bit too busy for him. So he asked me to do it. And it came right on time because I just moved to Chicago at the time. And from that point on, I did drill instruction for them. Brother Akil was working for the Chicago public schools. And there was a opportunity for and an opening for a dean in DuSable High School. No, man, it was Bronzeville High School. And I came, I had my resume. I read everything on my resume. When I got to that drill and that discipline, that it was a done deal. Yes, I became the assistant dean and eventually became the dean in that high school and started a drill team in that high school as well. So as long as we get into schools, I remember the minister said back in probably 2004 or 5, he said that we need to be in the schools, that the FOI need to be in the schools. And sure enough, I was in the schools at the time, and I bear witness. Yeah, that's what we need to be, the drill. Not only is it giving us the opportunity to teach and train our young boys and our young girls, but it also gives us an opportunity to be paid for the service as well.
Excellent. Okay, yes, sir. Now, I wanted to ask you about, I just saw somebody's big brother. This is Brother Dwayne. My brother is a great soldier. He loves the FOI. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir.
Oh, praise. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, Brother Vertiss, hold on one second. Yes, sir. Now, what was the climate like in the 90s as far as the streets, as far as the mosque, as far as like just the difference? This was before our time. This was before I was FOI. How was the climate during your your tenure in the 90s?
The climate is what it is today. We were going through injustices, being killed by each other and by the police. It just wasn't televised. The revolution wasn't being televised at that time, but it's being televised today. So what we see going on today, it was going on yesterday. The only thing that's different is the drug epidemic is not only promoted and pushed in the Black community, it's affecting America altogether. So everybody is feeling the effect of the drug epidemic today, not just Black people. So so that's what we're dealing with. The other component that is missing from what was back then versus today is we had rappers that were rapping into what we was dealing with. So that was one of the things that was keeping us conscious, street conscious. So it was keeping us from going all the way far to the edge where there is no hope. These rappers, Poor Righteous Teachers, Public Enemy, X-Clan, Rakim, KRS-One, all the great rappers back in the day gave us hope. You understand? We was dealing with the Jesse Jackson thing, and you know, striving to become president and things like that, and the minister connecting with Jesse Jackson and putting the FOI around him. So it was a lot of political, religious controversy going on at that time. You know, so you know, if you look at us 25 years later, yeah, we dealing with the same thing now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, we dealing with the same thing as far as Barack Obama being the president, being connected to with the minister in some shape, form, or fashion. Back 25 years later, Jesse Jackson, black one trying to be president, connected with the minister in some shape, form, or fashion, and the Jews mad at that then, mad at that now. You know,
yes, sir.
Yeah, we dealing with a 25-year recycling of Islam's history. You know.
Okay, excellent, Brother Laron. Thank you, sir, and Brother Lamont. Thank you for your history as well. What?
Allahu Akbar. Thank you,
and thank everyone for tuning in. What advice would you give to future drill instructors, just on how to put together a team and how to be a leader, how to be successful? What advice would you give us?
I would say any inspiring drill instructor, a drill team, just come together and do it, and choose the one that you think is better among you to be the drill instructor among you. Come under his charge, submit to his responsibility in the authority that you give him over you for the drill. You understand? Because we place those in authority over us. You know, so I would say come together, study drill, study military training. You can't be a drill instructor and not know military training, not know the ins and outs and the guts of military and military structure, military discipline, military decorum. You can't be a drill instructor and even be on the drill team without knowing the basic things that we are supposed to know and memorize by heart. Our actual facts, the student enrollment. These are things that the drill team should be able to spit right off the dome with little hesitance. With little hesitance. General orders, that's a cinch for the drill team. You know, now when you start getting, I'm sorry?
I say, yes, sir. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, you know, now when you start getting into Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2 and things like that, I can understand a brother on the drill team getting caught up and slipping up here and there. But our basic thing that we should know that got us in the mosque, we should be able to keep those things right off the top of the dome. And that should be practiced among the drill team, working out, physical training. The drill team is the army, is the special forces of the Nation of Islam and the FOI. It's the special forces. The same way the Vanguard is the special forces and elite team of the MGT. It is another component of the MGT. The drill team is a component of the FOI.
Okay, excellent. What advice would you give to future fathers?
Fathers? Oh man, love your family. Love your family with all your heart. Treat them kindly. Our families are a trial for us, and the world is a trial for us. And we get frustrated with worldly things because we may be striving to take care of the family, And because we can't beat up on the world, you know, sometimes we might want to take it out on our families. But I would say, man, you know, love your family and strive hard to treat them right, do kind, and be kind to them as much as you can. You know, that is all a man can do. You know, is love his family, protect his family, feed your family, house your family. You know, and all that is dealing with love. The minister teaches us that love is not a word; it is an action. It is a duty. So be dutiful to our families.
Wonderful. Now you quote the minister a lot with a lot of your answers. What is it about the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that makes you love him, and that drew you to him?
Man, what better man in this day and time to be drawn to? You know, who else of a man of our people that is speaking in the manner and talking in the manner and teaching in the manner in which he is teaching of us, of our enemy, the time and what must be done, and ourselves as a people. He is because of the Nation of Islam and because of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who he is a constant reminder of these teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have something that our people don't have. And it is the only thing that our people have that they don't know they have. So with us coming in the Nation of Islam and with myself personally, man, the minister is the father figure. He is a perfect example of a family man, a father, a husband, and a leader. You know, I mean, I've always, and we've always, many of us who see the injustices that take place in America towards our people, we are always looking for an answer, you know, and that answer is, for me, the minister, you know, and now I have an example. I've been an example have been placed in front of me to where is the things that he do on the macrocosm, I do those same things on the microcosm in my own world. And this is why I am successful in my own world. I have no enemies. Everybody that I come in contact with love me. You know, I'm always given, I'm always accepted among our people and among other than our people, based off of the example of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I wouldn't be the man that I am today. I wouldn't have made the money that I've made in the schools doing the drill and these things that I have made and that I'm making and will be making more because what I would like to do with us for that we can be more prosperous with the culture of drill is have a drill instructors conference and or a drill instructor and drill team conference, national drill instructor and drill team conference, so that we can organize and unify the drill and become become an entity so that we can take the drill nationally in the schools.
Absolutely.
We already have a national company that all we need to do, as the messenger teaches, is come together, unify, you know. And once we do that, could you imagine if you take yourself and the drill team, each brother on the drill team is a drill instructor.
Yes, sir.
That can go into every school in your city and teach drill to the youth and get paid for it. So we can do this nationally and become successful. So yeah, I think that if we start having national drill instructor and drill team conferences, we can accomplish much across the country and in the school systems in the United States of America, particularly in the Black and Latino neighborhoods.
Praise be to Allah. And that's a great idea, and you got my support 100%. Let's make it happen. Okay, Brother Vertiss, what advice would you give to future husbands?
Future husband. The other one was future fathers, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Future husbands. Prepare yourself because it is responsibility. It is duty. Because now you are about to intertwine yourself with another person, which is going to be trial and tribulation all in itself. And this is why we are taught that when you are standing before the one that is marrying you, that is not the marriage. That is the beginning of the marriage. We know that the marriage is the road. It is the journey. It is the experience until death do you part, you know? So prepare yourself for that. But prepare for joy as well, love and life. Prepare for that as much as possible, because you're gonna have the trials, but you want to strive hard for the good times. You understand? So yeah, for future husbands, you know, yeah, be thankful for it, because that is the that is the second that is the other half of our faith and our religion is marriage. You know, I bear witness. I've been married. This is my third marriage. I've been blessed to get married again 2 years ago to a beautiful young Muslim vanguard MGT, and I'm thankful to her and for her, because she loves me and I love her. You know, this is my third marriage, so I got experience now. You know, my first marriage I went into. I was young. I was 19. And I went into it with the spirit of being married to death do us part. But it didn't work out. We was married for 3 years. We parted ways peacefully, brotherly and sisterly. So that was a blessing. You know, we still had a good relationship to where we could raise our daughter. My daughter lives right there in Atlanta with you all. So I'm in Atlanta every year, actually, you know, visiting her. I'll actually be down there in the next couple of months, so I'll definitely stop in to see the brothers and the sisters. But yeah, so I was married, and she passed away in 2012. My belated ex-wife, and I have a daughter by her or with her that lives in Atlanta, as I said. Then, as you know, my belated wife that passed away in 2015. So I've had 2 women that I married and loved past this planet, you know, and my belated wife that just passed, like I said, in 2015, till death do us part was that, you know. I held her hand until she closed her eyes. So I think I am well versed in marriage. You know what I mean? So I would say to every man that's going into marriage, love your wife. Love your wife. Yes.
And thank you, Brother Vertiss, for that beautiful story. May Allah be pleased with both, but especially Sister Marlena, you know, she was very dear to me. And thank you for adding pressure now, because now you're gonna have every sister that watches like, see, John, she really loved. If you want to be like him, you gotta love.
Hey, but look, you know what though? You know what? They deserve it, man. You know what I'm saying? They deserve it, man. You know what we're taught, where there is no good woman, you know, it was a no good man that made her that way. You know,
yes, sir,
so you know, we got to try to be as good as we can to the women that are in our lives. You know what I mean?
Yes, excellent. Praise be to Allah. How do you feel when you look at the new generation of drill and you see your DNA in not only the FOI, but the junior FOI, junior Vanguard, MGT? When you just see your cages, you see your movement, You see, how does that make you feel?
Man, I be cracking up in joy to see, it's humbling. You know what I mean? Because you don't expect for the things that you do to affect so many people in so many generations. So it's humbling. So I'm thankful, man, to have been a part of something that is so much greater than myself. Because it always gives back. So I'm thankful, man. I look at it and I'm always humble. I always got to say it. I'm always humble.
Yes, sir. In 2011, after the drill competition, I took the drill team and we saluted you because I wanted them to know that any good of they saw in me, that I was a copycat of you for many years, and that I got it from you, and I will continue to let people know of. I just think that's the law. That's the rules. You got to pay homage to those who gave you your style and who gave you something to stand on. So I'm always going to do that, Brother Vertiss. What do you want your legacy to be?
Man, I don't know what I want my legacy to be. I don't think about it. My legacy is going to be what it's going to be. So I can't, and I don't want to say what I want my legacy to be. You know what I mean? If I'm making sense, I just want my legacy to be written on the hearts and the minds of the people.
Yes, sir.
So my legacy, I want my legacy to be what the people say my legacy should be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Well, I thank everyone for tuning in, and I thank you all for your love and your questions. Brother Vertiss, I pray that not only do you come back strong with drill, but that you take it to another level so that the new generation can look and say, look at Brother Vertiss, look at this. Y'all see the new routine that he did. Y'all see the new cadence and the new salute. I look forward to that. I really do. I thank you for taking time out of your thank you for taking time out of your your busy schedule. And very soon we should link up, especially when you come down here, so that we could continue to push the drill forward, man, because drill is powerful. And it's a powerful attracting tool to the nation, bro. It's a really powerful recruiting tool.
The drill team is definitely it has to be, if we want to raise the ranks, the drill team is definitely a component that should be used in order to, for a recruiting campaign. The drill team has to get on that. Yes.
Yes, sir. Well, I thank everyone for watching. I thank you, Brother Vertiss, and I love you, Brother Vertiss. And
love you as well, brother.
I'm always going to uphold the great works that you did, because you inspired the hell out of me. So yes, sir.
Hey, look, brother, you inspire me. Brother Alton inspires me, and all the young drill teams and the drill instructors. Man, it's always a blessing, because that's what we do. This is the way we train our soldiers. This is how we become militarily organized. Yes.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, you have a great evening, please, with your family. My love and my greetings. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. You do the same, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.